Welcome back to the second episode in this series of me ultimately replacing the timing gear on the Japanese Discovery 4, but along the way replacing, repairing, restoring anything that I come across too. Make sure you go back and watch the previous episode if you haven't already, but in this episode I replaced the oil cooler gasket, fit new spark plugs, replace the oil filter housing gasket, and finally remove the timing covers so you can see just how bad the timing chain play really was. Best combo, by the way, on the market in my opinion. Milwaukee brushless rotary tool, 6 amp hour battery with the Dremel flex attachment and the quick release discs. Awesome. So at the back here, these are the actuators for the diaphragms for the variable vanes in the intake, and there's just a little plug there that I didn't pull off. That's just what was holding it on. I've got new seals for these as well. I'm not sure if you can see anything on camera, but nothing looks too odd. A little bit caked up, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing immediately sticking out. So this is the pipe that I need to replace, the Coolant Pipe. It's coming from China, the aluminium one. So this helps massively, taking this out to get to that pipe. I believe it's a pain in the arse anyway, so do all that I can to get it out. I think the bolts are apparently a big headache because of where they are. So this won't be going back together until I've got that hose. So in the meanwhile, I just need to clean all this up, block all the holes off, vacuum all this coolant out with a V, and you can see it's fluffy in here, so there's been some water sat in here for a while anyway due to that leak. Some more down there. So hopefully the gasket is fine and it's just leads back here. No evidence of any water in the oil system, so we'll pull this out. Not sure if I'm going to clean this yet inside, but we'll pull this out, clean it all up, new gasket back in, ready to go. I believe these are the knock sensors. The loom's clipped in, so I've got to move it. I tell you what, let's snap that one. They don't have to come up with some corking designs, do they? Put some clips straight into the oil cooler housing that you can't get to. Amazing. That seems to be the best way using a hook. Just be very careful. Same with the hook. By the way, none of this is an instructional guide. It's probably the opposite. Do not do what I am doing. Purely for entertainment only. I actually picked up a new genuine L-ring gasket for under the oil filter housing whilst I was browsing. I just saw it was cheap, so I thought, why not? So this I tightened back up after draining the oil, so loosen this off. But there's 1 bolt there, and then there's 3 on the inside. 1, 2, 3. Take this out now before it makes any mess, clean it up, and I'll pop it back in. A tiny little bit of like crud just there. Wasn't sure if I was going to clean this or not, but maybe I will now. So let's take it out. I think I am going to clean this in the ultrasonic bath housing, so I'm just going to tape this up for the minute. Let's finally get this oil cooler out, shall we? I'm delaying the inevitable. I should probably have the vacuum ready as well, because it's probably going to lose a load of oil. Just realised I wasn't recording. You've got to be quick with it, because obviously you don't want to mix the coolant with the oil, so I flipped it, but if you pull it straight out, don't let it drain, you should be all good. A bit of brake cleaner and a fresh rag. New gasket, OEM. Can't really get this wrong. It's a shame there's no dowel pins though to locate. Just sits there. Let's get the oil cooler back in. That's pretty good. So let's get the bolts back in, finger tight. A little plastic clip that I need to remember to put back on there, and then we'll torque it up. Hopefully you can see what I need to do here is, first of all, make sure you've got it the right way. So it would be that way, because the hoses are there. You've got to tighten them up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to nip it up first, quickly with a really, really weak drill, just to save time on setting 1. Like the weakest drill driver ever. That's a lot. I'll just quickly go around clockwise, or I might mark them off. Just double check. Let's clip back on. Just to finish off on any of this sort of critical stuff. I like to put some torque seal on, which it's just basically, it's almost like nail varnish paint that just shows you if anything's loosened off. And yeah, you can use a pen or you can use something like this. This is the Bader Schrauben. I won't do that last one. The orange. Well, it takes a second, so why not? So that, ladies and gents, is the first fix on the car. Something going back together. So I'll either clean that up and put this back on, or I'll start tackling this hose back here. I'm just going to pop this loom back in for the knock sensors, electrical contact cleaner, and I'll be doing this on every plug that goes back on. This is the clip that I broke. I can't find these anywhere. That's what it's supposed to look like. Can't find these anywhere on the internet, in Land Rover's images, diagrams. I'm sure there's something somewhere, but I can't find them. If anyone can tell me what the part number is, then let me know. But otherwise, it's not super critical, it's not going anywhere, but I might be able to zip tie it down. But if you can see, just about to do the spark plugs. Check this cheeky guy out. Little spider. I say little spider, it's massive. Always check your spark plug holes for hiding spiders. That is a first, and probably a last. See you later, mate, you're getting blasted out. So obviously got a brand new set of NGK iridiums to go back in. Old versus new. Thailand on the new ones, Japan on the old ones. These are all very similar, can't see any issues with them. Slightly coked up with some carbon with the brown build up there on the tip, so all looks fine. Pop the new ones in, 20 Newton meters, and that is the second service job done. Right, China just messaged to let me know that that pipe at the back is in the country, so I'm going to get cracking on this. It's my hair on the way. Crocs on to the rescue again. Super hard to film this bit because I'm basically upside down in this gap. But this is the hose pipe I need to get off. This is pulled off. There's a plastic clip there to push this out of the way. There's a sensor there, that's popped off. You've got to get this hose off here, but it's just not budging, so I'm going to take off these two bolts, which I know are going to be fun, and these two, and then pull that off last when I've got some room in it. You a bastard. Not gonna lie, I think that's probably the least enjoyable bit of the whole repair so far. Just getting to this bolt here is an absolute nightmare, and I've no idea how you're going to get a torque wrench in there. Put the mirror in there. See, it's pink and fluffy, so it was worth doing. So the oil filter housing and the cap have just come out of the bath. They look amazing, to be fair. It's not got rid of the staining on the plastic, I wouldn't really expect it to, but that looks great. I took this out every 5 minutes because I was a bit worried because it's plastic what it would do, but it coped fine. And then inside here, it's got rid of all that tiny bit of sludge that it had at the bottom in these little wells. So these have been rinsed thoroughly and are ready to go back on. Oh, and just as an FYI, you shy away from parts from China, but made in China. Even Ford outsource to China for the actual critical engine parts. So there you have it. Genuine L-ring gasket. The old oil filter, by the way, non-brander, probably find out some sort of branding on the product code, but it is made in China. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing, there's no metal chips, there's absolutely nothing in any of these. It's like a bit of soapy in there. It's just the oil. So that's good news. No bearing problems. Quick update. I mean, like, this has literally been on 5 minutes. Like, insane results. All this just completely steamy, transformed, and I confirm it doesn't appear to react at all with the aluminium, at least not to the eye. So if it is doing something, it's very slow. But you can see no bubbling, no pitting, nothing to the aluminium. And then this has just gone dark colour. I think I'm getting a big air pocket around this side. I mean, you can see the difference. Steamy. How thick that is. So I'm gonna flip it on its side, fill it up with a bit more water, try and get it to halfway, and just rotate it round. Awesome stuff. Genuine Hengst, made in China. Just squirt some oil on this, give it a bit of a head start. So the accidental, shall we say, paint stripping from the acid bath on this part hasn't completely stripped all the paint off, so I'm going to finish it off in the sandblaster. So I'm using aluminium oxide grit, it's a medium sort of coarseness grit. I'm only using a 50 litre compressor, which is not ideal because the airflow is just not good enough. But well, I'll say it's not good enough, it's just slow. So but it works fine. So let's get this one cleaned up, ready for paint. I would say that has done a pretty good job. Continuous running on a 50 litre compressor. A lot of information on the internet will tell you that you need at least 100 litres, and you don't. Just to make it work, if you're just a weekend warrior like me, yeah, if you're doing it day in, day out, then I'd probably go for a 200 litre one, but you're looking at least 600 quid for something like that, and I can't warrant the price of that and the space when we're looking to move house in the next, year or two, so it doesn't make sense. So this will do for me. Leaves a fairly sort of rough finish with this grit, which is perfect for painting, but I've got some aluminium to do, so it'll be interesting to see if I knock the pressure down, can the 50 litre cope with the low pressure and low airflow. So we'll see. Right, it's time. I take this off, and this off, and these, but I can't do all that in a day and clean them up, get all the timing stuff done back on before rain sets in or wind or something bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these off one by one, clean them up, and then temporarily put them back on. And then when I get one good day, I can take it all off, time it all up, change it all, put it back together. So the first one I'm going to do is this one, and this is steel. I don't know why it's not rusted, to be fair, the paint's failed there, but this is steel. And we're going to sandblast this and paint it. You can just see it has sealant at the bottom there. There's two little beads of it there. The grey stuff is from the sump extension pan, but just there. The manual does call for a bit of sealant there. I think I'm probably going to install this with RTV and it goes back together like I've seen some of the American folks do. Just not that confident in that seal, there's not much there really. And obviously I've got a new seal to go in there. There you have it. This is also a moment of truth on whether the chains are likely to have been done with the tensioners. What have we got? Just wipe that. Nah, they're old. It's an old reference number. Looks very clean in here, I've got to say. Does look like it's had proper, more regular interval changes on the oil than what Land Rover spec. It looks in nice, clean condition. Interesting to see. There isn't much so far, it's hard to tell, but there's no obvious initial play in these chains. So it's interesting that it's not had them changed. There you have it. We will continue on. This is all cleaned up with, yes, a razor blade. Be very careful not to gouge anything. And then some Scotch-Brite with penetrating fluid on it, just to help lubricate and stop any sort of metal swarf fall inside and it sticks to the outside, and then come in with the vacuum, suck anything out, and then I've wiped it with brake cleaner, so I just need to put some tape over it temporarily for the minute. Boom, done. I need to clean this up and it's not going to be fun. The outside's pretty simple, but cleaning this up and the rust without affecting the seal. And also just had a bit of a pick at this as well. It's just like excess seal that they've painted. Shouldn't really cause a problem, but probably should just leave it alone. It's not going to rust because this is always covered in oil, but it's tempting to buy a new one, but at 95, 100 quid a go, it's also tempting not. So I'll give it a go, clean it up, and then decide from there how it's going. Guys, I just wanted to show you this. This is cool if you're a nerd like me. This bath takes something like 6 hours to get up to temperature. I'm not really timed it, but it's ridiculous. It's all day, and that's to get up to like the maximum on 80. So get yourself a cheap, well, I got myself the cheapest deep fryer I could find. This is a Von Chef, which I think is the cooking version of the Von House brand Chinese stuff. Cost £30 delivered from Amazon. I just hook it over the side. I took it apart. It's got a switch on it, so it knows that it's on the deep fryer. So I took it apart, and you can just put some tape around the switch, keep the circuit closed, and that's it. Hook it over the edge, set it on the max, because I don't know if it varies the voltage based on the temperature that you put it at. So I've just set it to 190, put it on for say 20 minutes. I'm just going to keep an eye on it. A valuable addition, just saving time. Obviously don't use it for cooking your chips afterwards. So what I have decided to do is I have decided to paint this and not replace it. It's responded quite well to media blasting with the aluminium oxide, and it just bounces off this interior seal here. Doesn't seem to damage it in any way. Obviously I don't want or need to strip this inner paint off, so I'm just going up to this seal here and being careful, and then I'll just have to mask it off and paint it. But that's going to need degreasing first, so just thought I'd give it a test. But before I carry on, this seal for the crankshaft needs removing, and you also are supposed to use a tool to install a new one up to a certain torque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice this one. I'm going to drill through those 3 holes into a template, so I can put 3 bolts as pins that will fit into the new one, put a bolt in the middle, and then use a torque wrench on that to take it out and fit the new one in. So whilst the bath is heating up to degrease this, let's make a tool. There we have it. It's not pretty, but it's fully functional. Much like me, actually. So I can slot the new one in and put the right torque on it, although it's probably not that critical. It only took me 20 minutes to make. I figured I may as well. So let's degrease this kid, and I'm not going to do it at a super high temp because I don't want to strip this paint on the back. Update on this part, a bit of a catastrophe really. You can see the seals failed at the bottom here. Now I think the ultrasonic bath has just exposed it rather than caused it, because there was some evidence of leaking and crustiness. I don't know if the footage picked it up around here, and so that's where the rust was, evidence of some oil maybe getting past there. So I think this is a bit doomed to fail, to be honest with you. It's not worth the risk of putting it back on and all the effort of anyway of sandblasting this and painting it. So let's get a new one of these ordered, and then I'll move on to the next piece. Which means this is not going to get used because you don't need it. Your new piece comes with a new seal, but who knows, maybe I'll get another 5 litre or a supercharged or something in the future and I'll need to use this, so I'll keep hold of it. So I'm working my way around again, taking the covers off, taping them up, cleaning them up so I can get them ready to go back on. I've already done this one. Whilst I'm waiting for this to be delivered, I may as well do this anyway. So these bolts, Torx T30 I think, and then pry it off. The best I've found is you pry it off slightly whilst tapping it with the rubber mallet, and then it comes off, and there's 2 dowel pins. Before you do that, you've got to loosen all the bolts off on the timing cover, and I've obviously left that one just to stop the dust coming in, and then taped that up. So let's crack on, let's do this second one, pull it off and then clean them up. I thought that side was hard. These back two here are particularly ridiculous. You have to like get your arm round with a ratchet spanner. Madness, right? I can't get to that. I was tempted to paint this anyway because I'm going to have to take it off to fix that leak, so let's take this off now. This thing is stuck. Unfortunately, you missed the main event because the battery died, but yeah, heat in the end was the way to do it. What a nightmare. I'm just hoping I haven't damaged the bearing. Feels fine, but who's to say? It's still super hot. We will continue. Let's get this off before it rains. All to get to this one little bolt. I'm having to heat this up. I'm absolutely convinced there's a dowel pin there. Everything else is coming off and it's sort of flexing there, and I'm scared it's going to snap. So I'm going to heat this up locally. I think I've just got it. Key is to use the flex, lift it off that dowel and then twist it. You can see, to break that corrosion. I'm going to have to take this cam cover off now. I just can't get this cover off. I need that leverage to rock it round. Good news is the cam lobes look nice and clean, no scoring. The oil staining, it's a good colour. Bad news is you got all this corrosion and grit on top here that I'm gonna have to really be careful and get vacuumed out. Oh dear. Let's bring the dowel with it. That's how stuck it is. I don't think it's supposed to be stuck in. It wasn't in the other one. What a nightmare. Okay. I'm just in the process of cleaning up this mating face on here. What I've found works best is a bit of oil, engine oil. This is all corroded on the outside, and if it's dry and powdery, it just falls in. Putting a rag in doesn't really help, to be honest with you. It just hides the dirt. If I'm honest, when you pull it out, it'll just go everywhere. So try and liquefy it, stick it all together, use, yeah, I know, a blade, a Stanley blade, scary, I know. You do a proper job and you scrape it perpendicular, it'll all come off and not scratch the surface, and it pulls it off in like a slimy gun that you can wipe on a rag, and then come back in with like some Scotch-Brite and oil to burnish it, you know, polish it up, and then come back in with some acetone or brake cleaner just to wipe any oil residue off. But yeah, whilst I'm here, just so you can see, I take it back, there's all the slack. That is quite a lot of slack. It's still detention down there, and the slack's transferred to over here, right at the minute where the position of the cams and the crank is. So there you have it. It did need doing, definitely. that's all cleaned up nice on there now. And just whilst I'm here, I don't think I'll be able to show you very easily. Let's turn the light on. Click. Right at the back there, hard to see on camera, I don't know if you can. The camshafts are in the right position, so I've got lucky. The marks are at the bottom, so I could have got it 180 degrees out when I was turning the engine round and putting the locking tool into the flywheel and flex plate. So got lucky this time. If luck is a thing, I had it this time. So I just need to now clean this face up with the Scotch-Brite, and then I need to do this one. This one's already done. Just to show you what it is I'm doing on this one. When I say Scotch-Brite, a lot of people say things on YouTube, etc. Don't really tell you exactly what it is they're doing. These are ultra fine abrasive pads, Faithful branded. Don't know if you can get them in the US, but again, there'll be a Scotch-Brite or alternative. Little square. And literally just some clean engine oil on there to help lubricate and pick up any swarf that comes off, and you can wipe it rather than it dry powder. And that's it really. This covers off, and look. Yeah, that's bad. There's a hair there. Oh. Not mine. Wow. It's funny because you just couldn't, it didn't sound horrific. But I mean, that there, that could almost skip a tooth. I'm looking at that there, if you, the lateral play, lateral, don't know, that way, up and down that way. That looks like you could get it to skip. So I did the right thing, not driving it for 2 years, it's just been sat here. Right, let's clean this one up. The weather is horrific today, by the way, so on and off. It's not supposed to be raining, and it's rained twice already. I have to quickly throw everything inside and shut the bonnet. So I might be able to get all this timing stuff done today, but I want to clean up the variators, and also there's a filter that sits in the end of the camshaft. I want to take them out and give them a clean in the ultrasonic bath. So yeah, may get it done, may not. I might have to chuck a towel or put the covers back on. The covers don't look that bad actually inside, cleanliness wise, so I may mint them out. I may just put them in some degreaser, we'll see. And then I've got all new seals for this. Just whilst I've got this out, you can see the bits there, much easier where you need to put the sealant. 2 places, there and there. So let's clean this up before it rains again. So I've decided I am going to clean these inside and out. There's just a bit of grit underneath that I'm just not really that happy with. So I'm not going to soak them in anything. I'm going to use, again, some degreaser. And I've also got 2 new PCV valve covers, seals and springs coming in the post. So I'll probably pop them off now, clean it all up, and then they can go back on. Let's do it. No evidence of any leaking, other than I said there's a bit of a lumpy idle which might be related, but one of those, whilst you're there, get it changed. Just for internet clarification as well, because again there's not a lot of information on this. Let's just take the camera for this. So if I'm looking at the PC valves from this angle, the left hand spring on the 5 litre V8 is shorter than the right hand spring. I believe there's only one on the V6, so I'm not sure which spring it is, but yes, there are 2 springs, there are 2 different heights. There you have it. The degreaser on its own at this temperature was just taking forever on the internals, so I am going to soak it in some 10% degreaser solution and then jet wash them out on a low pressure setting. Whilst I'm waiting for those to soak, I'm going to start stripping everything down, taking the variators out. I want to clean these as well, because I believe these can get quite bunged up. And it's just worth noting, obviously the exhaust, the intake, they're marked with an E and an I, but they've also got reference numbers on, so you can differentiate between this left bank and the right bank. So if you're doing this, write them down before you take it apart.
That's it today, guys. I hope you're enjoying this series so far, and if you are, let me know in the usual way, and if you're new and not subscribed, follow along as we've got lots more content coming. Next time, I'll be removing and replacing the timing gear, fixing that leaky power steering pump, installing the Chinese aluminium rear coolant pipe, and starting to button the engine back up. I'll see you next time.